I'll start with the background, use Generative Fill to clean it up, choosing the best options provided by AI, and then convert everything into a smart object before adding filters. Camera Raw for color grading. I use this parameters on this particular image, but this will obviously vary depending on light and camera of the original frame. I'm just doing it by eye until I get to a point where I think it looks nice. Tilt Shift Blur so I can get that blurry background while keeping the foreground in focus. Again, these parameters seem to work well for this particular background. Now just place the background wherever you think using the transformation tool. I got the original I used, so to make this easier, I'll just use that. I added the subject's frames. These frames were previously enhanced by AI. I'm specifically using Rimini here. I use the Select Subject tool, and then I clean the mask, paying attention to the tiniest details. This is usually the most time-consuming part of making a thumbnail for me because I strive to get it to a point where it's almost perfect. I believe it makes a real difference in making the subject pop. I usually copy the same camera raw settings from the background on the subject and tweak it, but in this case, I think it suits well as it is. I'll do the exact same with the other subject. Sometimes masking hair can be a bit tricky. In such cases, I use the Clone Stamp tool to copy some of the hair texture. Then, I remake the hair mask by painting it myself until it feels realistic. This should be enough for this example. Cut. Here I'm placing everything in its proper position using the final version as a reference. I apply some adjustment layers for the background, such as hue, saturation, and curves. I'll add more hue, saturation layers for extra color correction on specific elements in the thumbnail, such as the shirt or the jacket. And correct them with a mask if needed. I spotted something fixable in the hair, so I quickly corrected it. I group everything and make a copy of it so that if I make a mistake, I can easily restore it later. I convert that copy into a smart object and mask it using the silhouettes of both subjects. I make a copy of the background, but I forgot to include the 2 adjustment layers for the background. I'll correct that when I notice it later in the video. Here I'm applying another camera raw adjustment for the subjects with minor tweaks so they pop a little bit more from the background. Color correcting may seem easy here because I've done this thumbnail before and have the final result for comparison. However, taking the time for detailed color correction is crucial. I noticed the layers I forgot before, so I fixed it. I added a couple of extra hue, saturation layers to fix any colors that I felt needed to be changed. This last black and white adjustment layer is to make the eyes look cleaner and pop a bit more. And that should be it.